Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want big rocks. I got plans, you got talk. Heard it's real cheap, but it's really gon' cost. I'm trying to get these ends, building empires with my friends. I'm about handling my business.
Hello YouTube family, it's D Marie TV. Everything I say in this video is alleged. It is in my opinion and it is for entertainment purposes only. YouTube family, these relationship issues is rough in the summertime. Is it just too hot or what is going on? First up, let's talk about Keke Palmer. Now, Keke's boyfriend, Darius Jackson, simply played himself. He just played himself this week by posting a negative message about Keke because she was at an Usher concert dancing with Usher. Now, Keke is a performer. Usher is a performer. So this is what they do. They perform. They make things look, exciting and fun. And she was simply at a concert with her girlfriends. Usher came up to her, serenaded her for about 2 minutes. And based on that, Darius thought it was appropriate to comment on how she was dressed and make a negative comment about her in public. This is Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer herself is a brand. This woman is a brand. You're talking about someone who has been on The View. She has made movies. Keke Palmer has basically maneuvered her career her entire life without any drama. And here comes this baby daddy talking about how he wants her to look and what he expects from her as his family, but he has never married her. Okay? They're not married. That's her baby's father, but they are not married. And when you look at YouTube, there's a lot of men commenting on, oh, she shouldn't have wore that, and how women should dress, and how women should conduct themselves. Absolutely not. He knew who he was getting with when he got with Keke. That post was not about anything that Keke did. It was about him, his insecurities, and it was about Usher. But he's too punk as to address Usher, so he thought he was going to slander Keke's name and defame her name out here in these streets like she out there doing something wrong and ain't handling her business because she's a mother. Let me explain something to you men. Mothers can do a whole lot of things. Keke is at a time in her life where things are starting to click and make sense. Everything is coming together. That body you get after you have your first baby is banging. Everything that's supposed to move is move. Everything that's supposed to jiggle jiggles. She's able to feed her baby with her body. She's able to produce a baby. She's able to have her body is a machine that she is starting to understand, and she's coming into her own. How dare he? How dare he, with his insecure ass, get on social media and address her clothing in a negative way? If you had something to say about how she was dressed, that's a conversation you wait to have at home. I'm not sure what's going to happen with these two, but in response to it, Keke posted this video. So take a look at this.
You ain't stopping what's going on with me, sweetheart. So if you gon' act up, I'm about to link up. If you gon' act up, I'm about to link up. I'm about to link up. I'm about to link up. If you gon' act up, I'm about to link up. Link up. I'm about to link up.
In addition to the video, Keke added some clothing she has merchandise, and she had added a sweatshirt that said, I'm a mother, which I thought was super cute. Relationships between mothers, when you have a child, it's very difficult to see how this is going to go. In my opinion, he's not built for Keke, and she should let that go, raise the child together. But in the event that you are with somebody who finds it appropriate to publicly shame you and damage your brand, and you are a star, you are a public figure, I don't think that she should be dealing with Darius anymore. I think she should cut ties with him, you guys raise your baby together, but he is not somebody that I would want to be my man if he cannot respect me and my brand and who I am as a public figure. That's just my take on it. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Now, this next reconciliation I'm super excited about. So you guys know in my last video, I was going hard. I was going hard at Cardi and Offset for putting their business out in the streets. Lo and behold, Fashion Week comes and boom, they are back together. So they went to Fashion Week hand in hand and lots of pictures, public displays of affection. So it looks like Cardi and Offset have worked everything out. I hope they both learn from this and are not putting their business out in the street anymore. But this was a good thing this week. It's been a lot of relationship drama, but seeing Cardi and Offset work out their issues and get back together, I was super excited to see that. So shout out to Cardi and Offset. Let me know what y'all think about Cardi and Offset staying together. And the final couple that we're going to review is Monique Samuels and her husband Chris. Now this is another one that is just, I'm not sure. I would have hoped they would have tried to work something out and stay together, but Monique Samuels and Chris Samuels have decided to split after, again, 11 years of marriage. Croy and Kim Zolciak is at 11 years, and now here we are at 11 years with Chris and Monique Samuels. Is there something about that 10, 11 year mark? I thought it was a 7-year, but is it something about the 10 or 11 year? Let me know what y'all think about that. Is it something about that time period during a marriage that people run into difficulties? But essentially, Monique is saying that they're divorcing because they've grown apart. This just seems so lame to me. Like, I'm not sure if she's just not saying what it really is, but to just say they've grown apart, it just seems like, can't y'all try to figure that out or work on that or try to grow back together? Relationships are up and down. People grow and they have to change to come back together and be back in that loving situation again. It's not always going to be great, but you're married. These are the types of things and situations you go through. But you guys take a look at what Monique had to say.
So yeah, somebody said at the reunion, so y'all talking about Love and Marriage DC. The reunion, that many people believe the reason you did the show was to set up a divorce to Chris. You both laughed, yet here you are. I hope you both find peace. Yeah, so just because we were going through it last year, which we were, last year was very rough. When we were going through our motions and we were trying to figure things out, the goal was not to get divorced. That wasn't where we were last year. Like, even when people said last year that we were going our separate ways and all of that, Chris and I were trying every which way to figure out, like, how do we get that connection back? How do we bring it back together? And so even at that time, it wasn't true. Like, we weren't seeking a divorce. We were separated in a sense of like, okay, you focus on you, I focus on me, and let's see what happens. So we have been going through this process, and it's been years, like marriage, as many people know, it has its ups and downs, but you get to a point where you feel like you've reached that moment of like, what are we growing? Are we stagnant? Are we moving? Like, what's going on? And then you also have to consider the fact that we have 3 children, who are watching us. Our actions and how we interact with each other, how we run our household, that is literally an example for our children of how they're going to live their life, and I don't want our children to ever be in a relationship where they feel like they're not being heard, whether that's on my side or Chris's side, talking at each other, like the marriage becomes like a battlefield. So you get to a point where you also have to consider the fact that we have 3 little people that are literally looking at us and they're taking notes and they're like, okay, this is what's normal, and it's not normal. So so that's where we are. You guys don't have to be sorry. It's just a part of life. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens. Some people stay married forever. Some people don't. My parents were married for 23 years and got divorced. I know couples that have been married for 60 years and they're miserable. and they literally let their whole life just fade away, you know? So, it's really what you make it. And if you get to a point where you're like, you know what, we have grown so far apart that it may be best that we focus on ourselves individually and then focus on the three important people in our lives, which is our children. And that's what we decided to do.
So there you have it. Monique claims that, you know, they have grown apart and they want to split because the way that they're currently interacting with each other is not healthy for the kids. I think on the flip side, an argument could be that, you know, divorce is not good for children. But hey, it's their marriage. They're going to do what they want to do. Everybody's been commenting on how Chris is looking a lot better since he and Monique have split. But you know how it is when you go through divorce. You know, you have to work on yourself and you have a lot of stress. So you hit the gym and you try to get your body back to the best it can be because you're about to be back in them streets. So it is what it is. Hopefully, you know, we can get a reconciliation out of this. They are still living in the same house. So, you know, you never know with relationships. You never know. Maybe the time apart or, you know, the time that they're able to focus on themselves will be helpful. And we'll see how it goes. So far this summer, it's been rough on relationships. So you guys tell me what you think about these situations and all the breakups and reconciliations and things of that nature. So I did not just say things of that nature. Like, comment, and subscribe below. I'll catch up with you guys next time.